it seems that everyone brings his own influences in the band. Is that why the Midnight Juggernauts sound so open-minded?
Yeah. I mean, I'd agree with that. It's like we definitely have some pretty diverse influences and tastes and music we're into. We all kind of have three pretty unique personalities. So I don't know, it's interesting when we bring it all together. It's like we never know what's going to come out, but it comes out as Midnight Juggernauts.
One of those influences seem to be very important. It's David Bowie's voices, as Peter Murphy's voice, or other new wave or cold wave singers' voice. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know, growing up in this era, there's probably always these influences which kind of enter your life, and I suppose, and we definitely respect a lot of those artists from the 70s and 80s, like artists who are doing interesting things with music and like a more experimental approach. And I suppose definitely David Bowie, just looking at his career, you sense that he's not just a guy who's out there to get into the charts. It's like it's an artistic path he's taking, and you look at his different albums and different eras he's had in his musical life, and it's something which I suppose we aspire to as well, where it's we expect our band to develop in different ways over the decades, and who knows, 40 years time we might have 40 albums under our belt, all with different eras and different artistic paths we get to explore. So yeah. Okay.
It brings something very cold, very distant, in a very energetic music. What do you think? This kind of voice influence.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's we like those kind of dark, cold moods. It's like an atmosphere which we've always found evocative. It's like if you're looking at the album artwork as well, it's just like this kind of dark, cold forest. But it's like that idea, that mystery is something which appeals to us. It's like it's just that kind of that mood and emotion which you get from that imagery. It's something which we think suits the music. So it's
this darkness deals with some kind of vitality. Is that
It could be like it's strange. But I guess it's also like balancing that darkness with it's balancing light and shade. It's like light and darkness. So it's like even though there's often like these kind of cold and melancholy in our music. So it's like there's kind of sad moods which we'll play with, but there's always like some light and optimism which we're balancing in there as well. Just like the album artwork, we kind of had this dark forest beneath, but then there's coloured lights up above, and it's like this kind of optimistic mood, or like the light at the end of the tunnel, which could be an idea for like the concept of the album as well. It's just like traveling through night, through the darkness to the light, the morning, the next day.
Recently you were invited by Justice to open their tour in the US. A word about this relationship with this French band?
Well, I suppose we we met them a couple of years ago, and they appreciated our music, and we appreciated theirs, and we got to tour with them, and we didn't know them that well when we toured with them. We met them a couple of times, but we became friends, I guess, and it's interesting because we're quite different to them. I think there's similarities musically, and I think more so maybe to do with the kind of music that they appreciate. There's a lot of similarities to what we appreciate. I think that we sound very different to them, but I think there was a connection there that maybe they
yes,
saw.
You're different, but when we listen to Justice in France, Klaxons, or Simeon Mobile Disco in England, or yourself in Australia, it seems that there are some aesthetic views in common, and we can hear that.
Yeah, there's definitely there's like definitely probably some of our influences that kind of are similar to each other, but at the same time we like so many different things that I think like we have our own sound. Like we like stuff from like metal to space pop to like the Pixies. So
I spoke with Justice recently, and they spoke about Hawkwind, the space rock. It seems that the Midnight Juggernauts are also space or space rock or space electro, something like that.
I suppose it's just like we just like that imagery. It's like it's evocative imagery to us, and we feel like, as I was saying before, we like kind of that sense of mystery, and there's like no greater mystery than what's out in space. Is like look up above and just see this dark space of like this means there's like so many possibilities out there, and it's just like something which is interesting to explore with the music and the lyrics, and it's an interesting mood.
What is the influence of visual arts on your music? It seems very important for all those bands and for you, of course.
Yeah, it's very, very important. It's like the music is always first, but then for us it's like this greater experience with where it's about the visuals and about anything from obviously the music clips and T-shirts. It's just like trying to create like a bigger world with the music and with the album. It's like it's this universe which you have this vision in your head, and it's like the album, the music is the soundtrack, and then if you get an opportunity to like broaden like that experience with a great music clip which kind of explores those ideas further, it's something which appeals to us. So who knows, we might do it'd be great to do a movie in the future, or if anyone wants to back us and fund our feature film, it's like we'll work on something, a video game, pinball game. It's I guess we're artists, and we're just interested in like exploring new creative avenues, music.
I saw the show today, and it was great. You could have a big success in France, in Europe too. Could it be frightening for you?
It is kind of strange. It's like I mean, we've always been really confident with the music we make, and it's like we're extremely passionate about making music and creating music and performing. But it's I suppose when you're playing, there's like all this other baggage and other elements which are part of that ride, and it's like as long as we stay focused on what we're doing in the first place, it's all fine. So it's as long as we kind of remain passionate about the music, it's then it's all good. But it is strange. We're kind of not in like following this path to have like our egos out of control and like straying away from like the artistic side, creative side of why we first started on this journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.